Hey everybody, it's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R chat for Sunday, January 6th, 2013. Happy New Year, everybody. This has been an unbelievable week in Y&R. If you did not watch this week's show, you picked the wrong week to miss. You missed some unbelievable developments, including the time where Jack got drunk, brought a hooker home, and she died on his living room floor of a drug overdose. Yeah, it happened. It really happened. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. But we're going to get to all of that because a lot of stuff happened before then that built up to that. So the week began just after Jack fired everybody in his family from Newman Enterprises. Well, not Billy. Billy technically doesn't work for Newman Enterprises, but if Jack could have fired him, he would have, because he also fired Neil. He fired Phyllis. He fired Kyle. He pushed everyone in his life away simply because they held an intervention, simply because they were concerned about him. And the final person that he needed to have a loyalty test with was Adam. So Adam comes over to Jack's house and Jack tries to give him one more chance. It's been up in the air as to whether or not Adam is really on Jack's side for months now, and Jack wanted to give Adam one more chance to prove his loyalty, and Jack just sort of assumed, well, you've made your choice. You're on Victor's side. And so Adam challenged Jack to fire him. Adam actually said, look, if you feel that way, then why don't you just fire me? And Jack puffed himself up, looked at Adam and said, fine, you're fired. Enter dramatic music over the scene. So Jack fired Adam, which it was a very somber scene, because if Jack had one friend left in the world, he doesn't anymore. It's as if Adam also was the only thing that was really holding back Victor. Like Adam was the dam that was holding back the flood of Victor that was getting ready to just envelop Jack. Victor is in the background waiting to pounce, and Adam was actually trying to save Jack, which is so weird. I feel still like I don't understand the relationship that's been going on between Adam and Jack. They have had a lot of bad blood over the years. Do you remember when Jack let Adam take the fall for forging Victor's diary, which I'm pretty sure landed Adam in jail? So I don't know when they started trusting each other. Why did Jack trust Adam more than anyone else in his family? I don't know if it's just, I don't know, keep your enemies close kind of thing. But likewise, I don't know when Adam started feeling loyalty toward Jack. I mean, it's just bizarre because, yes, Victor is blackmailing Adam, but I don't think that that's all what it is. It just seems like Adam has some kind of affection for Jack that I just can't place my finger on. But after he fired him, Adam walked out the door and Jack was standing there alone. He has nobody working at his company. He has nobody in his life keeping him in check, giving him advice, being there for him. So in a very down moment, he calls Ashley and he asks her to come home. If only that would happen. If only Eileen Davidson would come back to Y&R. That, I'm telling you, was the worst mistake that Y&R has made. The biggest mistake that they have made in quite a while. Ashley belongs on Y&R. I would love nothing more than to see her walk back through the door, but it is not going to happen. And, you know, as far as the storyline goes, Ashley's mad at him. He did the same thing to her that he just did to everybody else in his life. She just came first. And as Jack is on the phone desperately leaving Ashley a voicemail, Kyle walks in and says, she's not going to call you back. We're all done. We're all done supporting you if you're going to continue to have this bad behavior and this drug habit. And it created another confrontation between father and son. Jack feeling that, oh, well, first you told the media that story about me, and now this, and it further fractured their relationship. Kyle leaves, and now Jack is alone again. And it's New Year's Eve. Another holiday spent alone, wallowing with his pills and alcohol for Jack. So Jack goes to the club, decides to go and get out. He is sitting at the bar, and a redhead woman walks up and sits next to him. Now, I think especially because Phyllis had just been there talking to him a few moments before, and we all know that Jack is in love with Phyllis. This redhead walks up to the bar. They start to just talk a little bit here and there, and let me tell you guys, I don't know about you, but I knew right away, number one, she's a hooker. And number two, Victor hired her. This woman is there to set Jack up for something. I just knew. I don't know if it was my Y&R senses tingling or what, but I had a very strong feeling that this was the beginning of something bad, but I didn't know how bad it was gonna get. Jack and this woman are at the bar kind of innocently flirting and sharing a New Year's Eve kiss, as the countdown happens. And I think that was the end of one of the shows, the New Year's show. The next day, the first, I think, scene of the show, out of nowhere, it's the next morning, Jack is passed out on the couch, and so is this red-headed woman, only she's on the floor, and she's dead. She is dead, dead, dead. And Jack has no memory, no idea what just happened. He's in trouble. He's like, oh no, no, no. He picks up the phone, and who does he call? Genoa City's seediest guy, Genoa City's garbage disposal, Adam. After Jack just fired Adam, what does Adam owe Jack? Nothing. Adam, Jack says, I'm in trouble, get over here. And Adam runs over. Why? Why is Adam doing this? He doesn't need to help Jack. Adam walks in, sees this scene, and is immediately like, crap. What happened, Jack? Starts kind of scolding him a little bit, and just, Adam, his world is rocked. Jack is practically like emotionally balled up and sitting in a corner, rocking back and forth. Like, I can't believe this just happened. What just happened? And I'm like, what just happened? Part of me thought, did Jack get rough sex with her or something? Please don't let that be it. But no. Adam sees what's going on, also mentions that, oh, what do you know, there's a news van outside, there's a reporter outside. It's clearly a setup. The woman's in there, and then there's a news van outside. Gee, wonder who set this up. Adam goes through her purse and finds ecstasy pills. So she is a druggie on top of all that. I guess misery loves company. I mean, I was so glad that it wasn't one of Jack's pills, because that was one of Adam's concerns immediately. Like, did you give her any pills, Jack? I think he even said something like, did you share any party favors with her? Adam is very streetwise. He's probably the most streetwise person in Genoa City. So it turns out she's got ecstasy pills, and she OD'd on that and booze. They were drinking all night. By the way, who does ecstasy anymore? What are you? Are you 18, 19? Who's doing ecstasy? And the woman didn't seem like she was on drugs at all. We only saw her for a little bit before she kicked the bucket, but she didn't seem to be like extra lovey or anything like that, like you would commonly think would be the case with someone who's on ecstasy. But I don't know, whatever. She apparently was high and it just spiraled. The whole situation is out of freaking control. I don't know why Adam agreed to help Jack, but he did. And it was really creepy because Adam, like the true psychopath that I think he probably is, came up with a master plan so emotionlessly. You know, there's a problem and it's gonna take extreme measures to fix it, and he just does it with no emotion. Jack's like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And Adam very flatly just says, you will call 911. You will tell them you are experiencing pain in your left arm. The ambulance will come. You will meet them outside. You do not let them in the house. They take you to the hospital. The news reporters follow you to the hospital. It leaves me alone to do what I have to do. It was so flat. It was creepy almost, the way Adam's mind just kicked into like manage mode, like just gotta cover it up, just gotta do whatever I gotta do. And the way there was so no humanity to the situation whatsoever was very sad. I don't even know why Jack was trusting Adam at this point, because the way he just fired Adam could have been the one to set this whole thing up and then come in and quote unquote fix the problem. And now Adam knows another of Jack's dirty little secrets. Now Adam can blackmail Jack. So I was shocked like the whole time that Jack is trusting Adam. I know this is probably crazy, but why not just call the police? If you didn't do anything wrong, just call. I mean, I know, he's in trouble with the media. I get where he's coming from, but my policy is just, woo, better be honest, because I wouldn't want that to come back and bite me later. And I don't know why Jack trusts Adam. I don't know why Adam is helping Jack. There is nothing for Adam to gain here. There's only loss all the way around. But Jack does exactly what Adam says, goes off to the hospital. Actually, since the news media truck followed him, it was all over the papers that Jack Abbott had a heart attack, but he didn't really. Adam walks out the front door of the Abbott place and holds a press conference. Did you guys see that scene? It was so brief, but Adam basically opens up the front door and the scene is just Adam standing there with this, I don't know, like this podium of microphones. It looked so fake. Just the scene looked fake to me. There were no actual reporters. You could, I don't know, there was no noises in the background. It was just Adam. There was no flashes of cameras, I didn't think, that I remember. It was just Adam standing there with this podium of microphones. I don't know. The whole thing seemed fake to me. And the very next scene, I mean, seriously, 5 minutes later, Jack is back at home, and that's all happened. And Adam has apparently done whatever Adam needed to do with the body. Adam is in the span of 5 minutes was able to dispose of the body, hold a press conference, and Jack was already back home. To me, that part of the story sucked because it felt tacked on, you know? As I'm watching it, I'm thinking, where is this coming from? Did the writers kind of get the sense that things weren't exciting enough, so they just did a quick fix? It seems like an extreme let's have Jack accidentally kill a hooker. Yeah, that'll bring in the ratings. That'll get people talking. Here's a quick fix. But it's the time gaps that I think make me feel that way. It's not, it wasn't really filled out. The scenes were not filled out. It was just like, oh yeah, and this happened, bam. And something about that I just didn't like that. They've been doing that a lot lately, where there are time gaps that it throws me off, and suddenly I'm like, what, did I miss that? What just happened? I don't know, it bugs me. But anyway, all of that just happened. Now Jack is sitting back home, depressed, as he should be. he's, worried about this woman's last moments. His conscience is gonna have to get the best of him. But he's worrying about, did she have a family? Adam got rid of her body. Was he respectful? He actually asked Adam, but you were respectful. I mean, I wanted you to dispose of her body, but you were respectful, right? Give me a break. There's nothing respectful about any of that. Adam dumped her in an alley. And Adam starts, now that he's done the deed, he's done this very bad thing for Jack. And he now wants Jack to just go into rehab. He just wants Jack to go to rehab and get better. Like, this has to be the bottom. And Jack, I don't know why he even started arguing. He didn't want to go. He's like, no, fine, I guess I'll do rehab, but I'm going to do it from home. All right, I guess so. But Jack is never going to be able to just step back and get better. He's got to be up in everything. After he just had a hooker die in his living room, and he goes to Billy to ask him to take over his position at Newman Enterprises, like to work side by side with Adam, I guess. Which, why? Why go to Billy? First of all, Billy is like the most underqualified Abbott to do the job. He's the most underqualified person to do the job. There's so many other people he could have asked, but I guess it was just simply that he didn't feel like he could trust Adam. Even though Adam just did this solid for him, he can't trust him, so he asks Billy to take over Newman while he goes to rehab. And Victoria, after Jack left, warned Billy not to do it. Victor had paid a visit to Victoria, and Victoria knows her father. She started getting the vibe. He's up to something. Don't go back there and get involved in the mess that it's about to go down at Newman, because Victor's gonna take it all. Not only is he gonna get Newman Enterprises back, but he's gonna get Jabot too. So you shouldn't be anywhere near what's going on there. So then there's Victor. Victor is laid back so hardcore during all of this. He is just probably twirling his mustache or combing his mustache and watching the whole thing go down. He's planting seeds. Maybe I did pay somebody. What's so illegal about that? But he's almost just sort of nudging Jack just a little bit and then letting Jack take a huge ass fall. It's like just nudging him right off the cliff. It was actually kind of funny because after Jack's heart attack, in quotes, was on all of the TV stations and Victor heard about it, he goes to visit Jack. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I feel like Eric Braeden is really on top of his game right now. He just seems he's ad-libbing a little bit, and he's a little bit smarmy. Eric Braeden seems to be enjoying himself a little bit more right now. I don't know, he just said something to Jack like, or Jack said, what, did you come to bring me flowers? And Victor was like, I'll get you flowers no, wait, I gotta prepare myself for my Victor impression. I'll get you flowers at your funeral. Throwing quips out there, like saying, well, if you're not going to be available to work at Newman Enterprises, then, I'm still available. He actually said, I'm a nice man, Jack. I'll watch the hen house for you. Jack practically slammed the door in Victor's face after that, but Victor is revealing through this cohort. He's working with a cohort, some guy who is, he seems like he's investigating things. He's getting things done for Victor, seedy things done for Victor. And Victor's talking with this guy at the club, and that's when he revealed that he was the one that hired this poor woman who, wrong place, the wrong time, not good at all. Victor even went to Newman Enterprises to talk to Adam after all of this is going down. Victor wants to talk to Adam and pressure him and try to get information so that's going to help him get his company back. And Mason, poor Mason, is sitting at the reception desk, and Victor starts to bully him, starts to say, some things are going down here. You know, there's a lot going down here. And I'm going to be back in control of this company someday. And I would hate to have to fire anybody who wasn't cooperative to me. So what can you tell me about where Jack is? And poor Mason, he squealed. He folded. He couldn't help himself. He gave Victor some contact numbers for people to contact while he's in rehab. I don't know what that's even going to mean. But Victor turns around, gives it to the, like, cohort. I guess maybe he's like an investigator. I don't know. Bounty hunter. I don't know. But Victor gives him these numbers. I don't know who they are. I don't know how that's going to play in. But the cohort guy comes back with some more information about the girl. Guess what? Oh, you thought that it couldn't get worse? You thought that this was as bad as it was going to get. No. The woman, I think her name was Stephanie something. She's a congressman's daughter. Apparently she had a fallout with Daddy, and she just like ran herself into the ground. She'd had a history of drug problems, but it's not even just that Jack killed some hooker. He killed a congressman's daughter hooker. Well, he didn't kill her. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. He was like witness to her death. I mean, he was kind of a party to it in some way or another. Bad. It's so bad. Jack is going to be in so much trouble when all of this comes out. The media is going to be all over it. Nobody in his family is going to want to have anything to do with him. I don't even want to know what John is going to say about all this. Just keep John's angel out of the situation because I don't even want to know. I mean, Phyllis is trying to give Jack a chance. He broke down and said, you know, I'm in trouble. I need help, Red. Can you help me? And she's trying to give him a chance. Phyllis is actually sacrificing a lot for Jack. She's trying to help him. I mean, remember she almost missed Summer's birthday because of his business crap, and then Daniel had invited her to go to Savannah with him, and she decided not to do that because she needed to stay with Jack, and he needs it. Dang, he needs some help. He is stuck right now. It's like, I mean, I don't know. He can't seem to get it together, and it's just getting worse. Like, I have the feeling that even though, yes, this may be a new low, it may be him hitting the bottom. I just have this feeling that it's only the beginning of the bottom. It's gonna have ripple effects, and Jack is not being very smart right now. He's sitting in his living room, looking on his laptop, typing in Stephanie's name into Google so that he can get more information about her. I'm sorry, Jack, that's like one of the stupidest things you can do is look her up on your laptop, which is totally traceable when all of this comes out. I mean, have you never seen a crime show before in your life? Chelsea was also sitting at the bar on New Year's Eve, and Alex, the sexy New York cop, came and sat next to her, and he was kind of flirting. They were getting on. It was funny. He was saying, yeah, I'm new in town. Maybe you want to show me around. Such a classic pickup line. They tried. It was as if there was a little bit of spark there, and as soon as Chelsea realized that she was sort of almost kind of making a date with another man, she freaked out and left him, which made me feel bad for Alex because he doesn't know everything that's going on with her. I don't even know if she was still wearing her wedding ring. Maybe she already took it off. I assume she did. But it was sad. Even though, I don't know. I don't know if there's chemistry between Chelsea and Alex. I'd need to see more scenes of them together. I damn sure know there's chemistry between Alex and Chloe. But it'd be kind of funny to see them fighting over him. I don't know. We'll have to see. But for now, Chelsea has been sidetracked. She's like gone back to Adam. Can you even believe it? Adam was all lonely on New Year's Eve. This is before the Jack thing happened. And he goes to find Chelsea at Kevin and Chloe's house and tells her, you know, I'm lost without you. And she's very bitter. She just looks at him and says, you lost? Get a GPS. I love that line. That was such a good line. But Adam is trying to patch things up with her. She was very resistant. She said, I don't want to patch things up. I just want my divorce and I want my fat settlement check. That's what you can do for me if you want to do something for me. And in a very weird twist, Adam said to her, all right, I'll write you your check. I'll write it right now. If you just give me tonight. Give me one more night. Just let me help convince you, because I think, believes that he will be able to talk his way back into it eventually. It may be a challenge. She may be slightly resistant, but that's what Adam wants. Adam wants a challenge. So I think he knew that if he got 5 minutes with her, he could just talk her back into it, because he's smooth like that and she's weak like that. So he got his foot in the door just a little bit by saying that, and continued to sweet talk and two-step around until he got what he wanted. They talked about their relationship, and he actually said, I could have smacked him for this. He said, I get why you went to Nikki and Victor about Sharon, and I forgive you now. Funny, because that's not what you said before Sharon rejected you. Before Sharon rejected you, it was all about, I'll never be able to forget this. I'll never be able to forgive this. And now all of a sudden, he's saying whatever he's got to say in order to get Chelsea back. And Chelsea is an idiot if she goes back to him. I'm sorry. Both of these women technically are idiots if they get with him, because he's sexy and misunderstood. And yes, that is very appealing, but he is not a good husband. He lies. He sneaks. He's deceptive. I shouldn't want him with either woman. I really shouldn't. They both just need to forget about him. But it's funny how he gets what he wants, because he's talking to Chelsea and he just tells her, we can make things better. We can get things back on track. We can have a future. I just need you to forget about what happened with Sharon. Yeah, that's pretty convenient for you, Adam. If Chelsea just forgets about what happened with Sharon, and then everything will be fine. Well, what'd she get out of it? Your sheer presence, the glory of your presence? Chelsea actually had kind of a lucid moment where she said to him, look, if you're really over Sharon, if you're really serious about getting back together with me, if you're actually committed to making our relationship work, then let's just leave Genoa City. We don't need to be around here. All of this is just a distraction. If you want to start new, let's start new somewhere else. And I understand what she was saying. I was like, I get you. I totally get what you're saying. And he agreed. He agreed to leave Genoa City. So Chelsea is now kind of under this impression that, all right, they're going to leave Genoa City. But it's lip service. I think he's just telling her what she wants to hear. Because all of that was before Jack and the whole Adam disposed of a dead hooker's body thing, and didn't tell her about it or anything. Because that's the kind of guy you want to be married to. The one that everybody calls when they're in trouble and need to start a fire or cover up a crime. Is that the guy you want to be married to? Look, as far as I'm concerned, he had that conversation with Chelsea, then he went and covered up Jack's mess. So as far as I'm concerned, he made his choice, and it wasn't her. If Adam was so ready to start anew, he would never have been involved in what happened with Jack. There are so many risks that he took that could have destroyed his life, could have destroyed their life. If he actually cared about Chelsea, he would have walked in, saw what Jack did, and then slowly backed out, closed the door, and never talked to Jack again. But that's not what he did. He disposed of the body, comes home to Chelsea, and doesn't tell her, just says, Jack had a heart attack. Lies to her about Jack's heart attack. He needs me to take back over Newman Enterprises for a while, so we can't leave just yet. And Chelsea at first is like, no, Adam, no. But we were gonna leave together. Why do you need to be involved in Newman Enterprises? And again, Adam steamrolls her right over and just, it's a family thing. Or, you should understand, I feel kind of loyal. Or whatever of the crappy lie he told that I don't even remember at this point. But, come on! Why is staying in, why would going back to Newman Enterprises now be so important to him? Why did Adam choose that? Is the question. If you were enough, Chelsea, you would be enough. He would not need to go back to work for, he said, a couple of days. Psh, you know it's not going to be a couple of days. Adam is looking for a reason to stay in town because of Sharon. And Chelsea ran into Sharon at the club actually this week, and the two ladies sat down and were talking, and it was kind of funny because Chelsea said, you know, I should thank you, Sharon, because we're back on track, me and Adam. And Sharon's like, oh, good, that's great. You know, I hope we can be friends or something like that. And Chelsea spilled to Sharon that we're going to leave town. We're moving. We're getting out of here. And Sharon was very taken aback by that because even though Sharon knows she can't pursue a relationship with Adam, she still wants him around. She still wants to know that maybe in the future when she's feeling better, things could spark up between them. And I think Chelsea just enjoyed telling Sharon that, yeah, you didn't break us. And in fact, we're getting out of here. But Sharon went to go see Adam pretty much right after, goes to visit him at Newman Enterprises and ask him, you know, is this true? Are you really leaving? I think it's actually going to turn out really good because, you know, Sharon has been angling for, you know, being a spokesperson at Jabot, and that hasn't really taken root. But as she goes to see Adam, she tells him about that. And I saw from the preview of Monday's show that Adam is going to ask Sharon to work for Newman Enterprises, which, kind of puts them together on a daily basis. What do you know? Kane is the new CEO of Jabot. What? Huh? Apparently, after Jack fired Neil, he told him to hire Kane, or I don't know if it was like a presidential thing, like when the president dies, the vice president automatically takes over, so maybe Kane was second in command, so he just became the new CEO. I was surprised, like, oh, okay, I guess Kane's the new CEO now. But it was weird because as Neil told everybody in his family, plus Leslie, that he had been fired from Jabot, everybody offered to quit. Like, he's got his entire family working there, and they all were like, well, I mean, if we need to quit to show solidarity for you, that's what we'll do. But it was, you could see on Kane's face that he was kind of like, don't quit, I'm the CEO now. But it makes me think, maybe nobody really respects Kane as a leader, as like the main guy. Or it's probably hard to compare Neil and Kane because Neil has so much more experience, but Neil didn't want that. He didn't want that at all. I mean, you know, at this point, probably he's just happy because not being the CEO of Jabot means that he can sleep with Leslie, which he did. They didn't waste any time. I think Neil had been fired for about 3 hours, and Leslie came over and they banged. Well, I mean, they had a conversation before that. They were talking with each other, having a heart-to-heart, and Neil told her about his sobriety and how he's, you know, opened and disclosed that. Everything that's been going on with Jack has put the focus back on to Neil when he had an alcohol problem. And Leslie seemed to be fine with that because she went to bed with him. They just did it on Neil's couch, which was fine with me. I do love seeing Christophe St. John without his shirt, and actually he was walking around in his underwear for a while too. And I do love a black boxer brief. I think a black boxer brief is my preferred male underwear. It's the best of both worlds. I made a video a long time ago that it was called "The Men of Genoa City, Boxers or Briefs," and I just went through and said who I thought wore what kind of underwear. I wonder if I was right about Neil. Of course, he could have changed in that amount of time. You should go to my YouTube and find that video and watch it again. That's kind of a lark, but yeah, I thought he looked good. Meanwhile, Kane doesn't seem to want to accept the CEO position. I think he knows that it's not going to last. And Kane actually acted like he was going to go talk to Jack and get Neil's job back for him, as if Kane was going to be able to do anything to make a dent in Jack's decision. Kane goes to visit Jack. Jack gets real aggressive with Kane right off the bat. Like, I'm giving you a chance. Don't blow it. Jack has turned into, he's become like so many of the bosses that I've had in my life that I hate. He's just mean. He's a horrible person to work for. Jack got aggressive with Kane and Kane backed off right away. He kind of chickened out. Kane, it funny because he acted like he was going to go get Neil's job back, and then he was like, ooh, as soon as Jack questioned him. I guess he figured, why lose my job too? But Kane accepts that he's just going to be the new head honcho. He goes back to Jabot and walks in on Mason and Lily yet again, just having a moment. Mason getting cozy with his wife, and I am on Kane's side at this point. I have tipped on over I thought, at first I was like, oh, it's just kind of cute, but now I'm on Kane's side totally. I'm over it. Mason is just way too up on her. It's kind of gross. Like, Mason was telling Lily that she should be the CEO. What? Lily? You seriously cannot be falling for this, Lily. Really? Because Lily has no experience whatsoever. I'm not saying that she's stupid or she's not qualified to have a position there, but telling Lily that she should be the CEO is basically just feeding her ego. And I think, like, this ass kissing has just gotten out of control. He's talking about he knows her. Whatever, dude. You don't know her at all. It's getting kind of gross. And your looks aren't going to get you everywhere, by the way, because your attitude stinks. You think that you're the bomb and you're not. And that bothers me. So Kane walks in the door, sees this happening, and right off the bat fires Mason. Now that he's the CEO, just like, psh, you're fired. I was like, go ahead, Kane. Go right ahead. Fire him. Because he doesn't deserve to be there. I don't know, he bugs me. Anyway, I still think that it's going to get pursued. It doesn't matter if Mason works there or not. He's still up in Lily's grill. An interesting note that I had never thought of. Kane and Sharon have had a lot of scenes together lately. Sharon still wants that job at Jabot, so they've had a couple of different meetings. And a couple of you guys mentioned detecting a little bit of chemistry there between Kane and Sharon. So I wanted to pose that to the whole group. What do you guys think? Like, Kane and Sharon, could they be a potential couple? Whoa, Daniel was back this week. How nice. I wasn't expecting that. We all know that the actor has left the show, and they must have brought him back to do a wrap-up. I just kind of think the writers must have gotten some flack for just making him disappear. He just disappeared off the scene after having been on the show for a long time. I mean, the guy was on the show for something like 9 years. He deserved a proper send-off, okay? You can't just push him off to the sideline. So Daniel comes back to Genoa City, and he tells everybody, he kind of does his rounds, and he tells everybody that he is moving to Savannah, Georgia. Apparently he got some work with an art gallery, and it's a big break for him, so he's taking Lucy with him, and Heather too. Heather just gonna drop her DA job go to Savannah, and then they're relocating together. So, I mean, that's good. He goes around and he tells everybody one by one. He talked to Phyllis, and Phyllis was not happy about the fact that Daniel was moving. She freaked out at first, made it all about her. And, Daniel was like, hey, you don't have to stay here in Genoa City. Why don't you move out to Savannah with me? I wish she would. Michelle Stafford needs a break, and I need a break from Phyllis, so I was kind of hoping, yeah, go for a while. Why don't you? I love her, but it's been too much lately. I need some time off from Phyllis. But because of everything that's going on with Jack, she decided that she's not going to go out to Savannah with her son. Instead, she's going to stay here. But it ended really nice between them. I have to say, I was very touched by the final scene between Daniel and Phyllis. She told him about how proud she is of him for stepping it up and becoming a father, and he has shown a lot of growth. This is the guy that his marriage to Amber ended because he didn't want to have children, and then he got unexpectedly had this child, and now he's really stepped up and he's become a man about it, and I enjoyed seeing their final scene together. I also thought it was good that he got to have a final scene with Lily. I forget how long he's been on the show. I mean, he was a kid when he was on. It's been almost a decade, I think. Remember when, everything happened with Cassie and he was married to Lily? I mean, everything has just been he's been on for so long. He's had so many storylines, and I'm really glad that Y&R chose to show him saying goodbye to Lily. Of course, Kane got all jealous. Kane's all jealous now. Anybody talking to Lily, he's jealous about it. Lily and Daniel have had a really good friendship for a long time after they were married, and Kane never said boo about it. Now all of a sudden, Kane is saying, "Oh well, good riddance. He's your ex-husband. I'm glad he's leaving town." Well, one of the other fun farewells was between Daniel and Kevin. Kevin actually opened up about everything he's going through with, the house, the mortgage, and this idea that he has to get this drug money from Noah so that he can pay off his debts. And Daniel was at first all for it. He was like, yeah, let's get some money, And then as Kevin started to unveil more and more about the plan, Daniel became the voice of reason, and he's like, danger alert, this is not a good idea, don't do this, don't throw Noah under the bus. Which is what I've been saying. What did Noah ever do to you? You're gonna screw him over? But Kevin's response was classic. Kevin actually said to Daniel, yeah, but I want to go through with this plan because Chloe's really turned on about it, and we've had the best sex that we've had in months. Just thinking about it. Kevin. Suddenly, Daniel's like the voice of reason in this whole thing. He mentioned, do you even remember what happened with Amber? There was a storyline several years ago where Amber and Daniel and Kevin did something. There was some friend of Amber's, I think, that came into town with he was shady and he had a bunch of money, and then I think he died in Kevin's apartment or something, and they were trying to cover up the money, and it turned out to be a crazy, crazy, crazy adventure, and Daniel reminded him that these plans always seem good, but they never work out. And just remembering that kind of made me sad about Daniel leaving. I had not felt connected with him in quite a while, but he did have a lot of good times. He had a lot of good days on the show and made me kind of miss him. So, I don't know. I wish the actor well, and I hope that he can come back someday when Y&R figures out how to write for him. After his conversation with Daniel, Kevin decides to take Daniel's advice, and suddenly Kevin becomes the voice of reason and starts trying to talk Chloe out of having anything to do with the stolen drug money, and all of that goes out the window as soon as he sees Chloe's stakeout outfit. Like, Chloe is getting way into this. She's got her little black, they call it a cat suit, like all black tight stakeout outfit, and she wants to get this money. She wants to save the day. I kind of like this side of Chloe. She's being sneaky and it's really funny. She goes to Noah's house and steals the money. She finds it. She sneaks in to the house and steals the money. She steals the stolen money. It's kind of comical. I am enjoying it, although I think Kevin and Chloe have lost their minds. I don't know what planet they are living on that they think this is all going to work out in their favor. Like, what are they going to do? Just go to the bank and pay off their mortgage in cash? How is that going to work? Now they've got this money. They can't really keep it, and they can't really turn it in, because if they keep it, it's going to be obvious. If they turn it in, the cops are going to wonder where they got it. And it seems a little bit like they're leaning toward keeping it because that's more money. The reward money would be a little, but this is more money. The money that was in the bag, in the duffel bag, is I can't remember what they said, like maybe $500,000 or something like that. But they're leaning toward keeping it, which is such a bad idea because it could be marked. If that money was part of a drug investigation, then it probably was marked. They need to be more paranoid than they are. They're both paranoid. They're both being paranoid now that they've got the bag. And it's funny, but they need to be more paranoid. Chloe's paranoia is particularly hilarious, though. I'm enjoying her. It's funny. I'm actually, it's the comedic relief of the week with so much other serious stuff going on. It's kind of a nice break. They made it rain this week. They decided to have sex on the money. They're so excited about having all this money. They're throwing it up in the air, and it starts turning them on, and they get it on with the money all over the place, like Indecent Proposal style. Which is such a good movie, by the way. Indecent Proposal, so good. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to see it. It was funny making it rain. I did enjoy it. I think that's the first time Kevin and Chloe have had sex in a really long time. I can only remember like one scene that they ever had sex, and it was in the back office of the coffee house. Other than that, I don't think I've ever seen them do it, or I don't remember them ever doing it. So, hey, good for them. They got it on this week. But Noah is freaking out. He's realizing now that the money is gone. I mean, the cop is breathing down his neck. The cop, Alex, is hassling him every chance he gets. He's visited him at the house, visited him at work a couple of times, and he's really bearing down hard on him. And now that the money is gone, Noah is even more paranoid. And one of the times that the cop was visiting him at work, Nick walked in and kind of saw what was going on and confronted Alex on his own and said, "What do you want with my son?" And the cop told him enough to make Nick curious, and Nick sort of approached him about it, and Noah needs to confide in Nick. Noah needs some help. It's so quickly become him in over his head, and I just don't know. He should be glad the money's gone. He really should. He just should be like, okay, the money's gone. Phew, I'm all done with it. Like, it's Cassie's birthday this week. He needs to get back in touch with who he is and his morals and his family and really reevaluate what he wants, because Noah Newman should not be tending bar at the athletic club. In reality, that would be an embarrassment to the family. How do you think Victor feels about his son tending bar at the athletic club? Please, he should be working at a company. He has a trust fund. He has tons of money. He needs to get beyond this. He doesn't need to be hung up on some girl he knew for a little while. He's got so many other options. I do like him a lot more this week. There was a scene, though, between him and Summer. Noah kind of accused Summer of having stolen the money, and I kind of think that Noah, that scene between her and Noah, maybe because they're both new to the show, made me think Noah, the guy who plays Noah, is actually a pretty good actor. Summer just seems wimpy and whiny to me lately. I don't know. I'm not feeling the actress right now. I don't know. But we'll see. But like I said, Noah needs to get his crap together. If I was him, I'd be like, okay, good, the money's gone. I'm ready to be done with this. But unfortunately, at the end of Friday's show, he gets a text message from Adriana. Guess who's coming to town? Did you guys notice that the actor who plays Noah got added to the opening sequence? I think this week. This is the first time I've noticed it anyway. And way more important, Lauren finally got added. Tracy Bergman, yay! She totally deserved to be there. And she looked beautiful as usual. Oh, she's just so gorgeous. I love her so much. I love Lauren. It's just too bad that Fen is such a little brat. He's such a mean guy. I mean, it's not even brat, he's mean. I don't even know where this came from. He started off on the show so nice and sweet and actually a good boy, and now he's practically evil. Like, he's so mean to Jamie. They had another argument this week, of course. And then, of course, Fen has the best timing. He walks in, goes to see Summer, just as Summer is comforting Jamie yet again because Fen is such a jerk to him. These kids texting him are such a jerk to him and being mean to him at school, and he doesn't even have a place to live at this group home. It's horrible. And Fen walks in, sees it, and decides that he's just going to tell Jamie everything about what Summer did. So Fen tells Jamie that Summer is Brittany. Dang, this kid just cannot catch a break. It was like Summer was his only friend, and Fen went and ruined that. And then, of course, Fen tells him he's a waste of space, he's less than that, he's nothing. And the dynamic between Fen and Jamie has me really concerned, because I think this is going to end one of two ways. I think either Fen is going to get into some kind of life-threatening situation and Jamie will rescue him, and that will maybe make them friends, or it could go in the very opposite direction and Jamie could kill himself. Are you guys getting that vibe? Because I am getting a bad vibe, like, if Jamie goes and kills himself, I'm going to be so upset, because right now, after everything that happened with Summer, he's gone missing. Nobody can find him. Michael can't find him. He's not answering Summer's phone calls. Who knows where he is? If this kid kills himself, I am going to die. I'm going to be so freaking upset. I just feel for this poor kid. I want to hug him. I don't like bullies, and I can't handle it. It makes me sad. I just want to take this kid and just give him a hug, and then I want to smack Fen across his stupid face. He's such a jerk. And I don't understand why Summer doesn't go to Michael and Lauren and tell them that Fen is the one sending these text messages. Because if Fen told her secret, then why can't she tell his? Fen got her in trouble with Jamie. Why can't she get him in trouble with his parents? It's just, the Fen is bad news. He's bad news. And Michael starting to pick up on it and really starting to worry. He talked to Paul this week and kind of confided that he's concerned that Fen is going to turn out like Ricky. There were a lot of red flags with Ricky's behavior that Paul missed, and Michael doesn't want it to be like that. And Paul tried to reassure Michael, said he really doesn't think that it's the same thing, and he doesn't think that Fen is like Ricky, but I don't know. I don't know, because Michael and Paul had kind of a good moment. They even hugged, and they had this camaraderie, and they went to Crimson Lights right after and walked in on Fen and Summer having another argument about Jamie, and Fen was getting aggressive, like kind of physically aggressive with Summer, trying to be like foreboding, sort of walking toward her, and she was walking back, and it was a little bit scary. And Paul tried to talk to him, and it was a nice scene because Michael's clearly not getting through. Michael freaked out when he saw this. Are you bullying girls? I can't trust you now. What is this? What are you up to? Paul tried to talk to him, and I wish Fen would have opened up, but he didn't. It seems like he's still really closed off, and now we're left with the question, is Fen the new Ricky? And it's hard, because it's like the writers heard me saying how much I like Ricky and how much I miss him and how much I wanted Ricky back, and they decided to give me Fen instead. But Fen isn't Ricky. Unfortunately, Fen is just too young for me to lust over. Tucker had dinner with Catherine this week, and he seemed so sincere about wanting to repair their relationship. But the more sincere that Tucker is, the more I realize that it's totally out of character. Like, what changed in him that made him want a relationship with Catherine all of a sudden? It doesn't feel right. I'm sorry, but the interest wasn't there before Catherine made the announcement that she was going to go be the CEO of Chancellor again. So I don't understand where this is coming from with Tucker. I guess it really doesn't matter, because it is confirmed that Stephen Nichols is leaving the show. He's already off the show. He's already filmed his last scene, so we're going to be done seeing him. I think the only important piece of the puzzle here happened when, during Catherine and Tucker's dinner, Victor comes in, plops down, and joins them. And Victor offered to buy Tucker's shares of Newman, and you darn well know that Tucker's gonna leave town, sell Victor his shares. It's gonna happen, and that may help Victor just get what he needs to put himself over the ownership edge, but it doesn't matter. Victor's close to getting Newman Enterprises back one way or another. New Year's Eve in Genoa City was kind of cute. Nick and Avery went to the club, and he sort of revealed the place for the first time in its entirety. I don't love it. I just don't love it. It's called the Underground, I think, because there are no windows. I hate these dark sets. It's dark. I mean, maybe it was because he didn't have the lights on, didn't have everything hip and up and whatnot, but we don't need underground. We need above ground. We need some light. The dark sets are just really getting to me. But it was cute that Nick had a booth dedicated to her, or a booth reserved for her, since she's the one that made the whole thing, or made the suggestion to him, his little dream. So there's always going to be a booth at the Underground available for Avery. And it was nice. They had a moment just alone at the club. I kind of thought he was going to open it on New Year's and have a party, but maybe we'll get to see that next week. Hopefully a little lighter. But they kissed on New Year's, and it was really cute. And the opposite of that, I think, was Billy and Victoria, who decided to spend their New Year's at home on the couch watching a movie, which was so much more my speed. That's what I did. Just watch a movie on the couch. That's all I need. And it was fun seeing them have their little movie night and arguing about what to watch, and seeing Billy in his pajama pants and Victoria in her pajama pants. The interesting thing, the little hint, though, during the Billy and Victoria scene was that Billy is getting the gambling urge again. She saw him playing a little blackjack, and then he got out some cards and started playing it when she left the room, and as soon as she came back, he hid it underneath the pizza box. Clearly doesn't want her to see it. So, oh man, Billy, why can't you get it together? Why is it impossible for you to get it together? Billy is the ultimate and always screw up. I'm not looking forward to seeing another Billy gambling problem storyline. Ugh. To infinity. Well, I thought we'd wrap it up by talking a little bit about our New Year's Eve fashion. Everybody went to their various parties and got to dress up a little bit, and I always enjoy seeing what everybody was wearing. My best pick for best dressed was Lauren. I thought she looked unbelievable in her red dress. It was long and slimming. It doesn't matter. Her bod is so rockin'. I just thought Lauren looked beautiful. There was also Avery giving me some bombshell dress, like one after another. I mean, she had that amazing dress on at Nick, when she was with Nick at Victor and Nikki's penthouse party, and now she's just bombshelling me with this gold dress that Nick bought for her. Of course he picked it out. It was tight, it was short, and when she turned to the side, her ass was fully visible. I mean, you could see her ass cheeks. If I had that body, I'd probably wear that dress too, though. I just hope she wasn't planning on eating anything at the party because you'd be able to see it. I also thought that Summer had kind of a fun little party dress on. It was silver with gold flecks on it. It was very sparkly, very young. There was a couple of black dresses. Phyllis was just kind of wearing a kind of an off-the-shoulder black dress, but it was boring. It just seemed like Phyllis should have had something with a little more pizzazz. But then again, at the same time, Nikki had on a black dress that I thought worked. It was classic, it was flowing, it was very, very flattering. The guys are all in tuxedos. I can never get excited about a tuxedo, but maybe I missed somebody. I don't know. You guys tell me who you thought were the best and worst dressed for this New Year's. Okay, well that takes me to the end for this week. Wow, it has been a memorable one. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about it. So please feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what you're thinking. I'm looking forward to reading and responding and coming back and seeing where we are next week at this time. So I'll see you guys next Sunday. I love ya. Bye.